Thank you all very much for joining. Welcome. We've been doing these programs for a few weeks now, and maybe you've tuned in before, so it's always good to join, and you might learn something. I learn something every time. So I'd like to begin by offering my respects to my spiritual masters, Siddha Sarupananda Paramahamsa and Srila Bhaktivedanta Swami. And I always begin my programs with an easy meditation. You've done it before if you've joined us previously. If not, this is your first time, I'll explain it quite quickly. We speak from the platform and live on the platform of Bhakti Yoga. And in Bhakti Yoga, we do meditation on a very regular basis. And the meditation we do is mantra meditations. And these mantras are transcendental sounds. They are spiritual sounds. I know some of you've heard this before, maybe several times, but for those new people out there, transcendental sound means spiritual sound. It originates in the spiritual world, descends into the material world. And when it comes to this material world, it brings with it great spiritual power, great spiritual potency. When we come in contact with this transcendental sound vibration, automatically we receive great spiritual benefit. So it is the easiest of all meditations, but at the same time, the most effective. So we begin with this meditation because, number one, we're busy during the day no matter what. It's like impossible to not be busy, seems like. So it'll help us to slow down, to relax. Number two, it helps us to understand the subject matter a little more easily. See, material matter and spiritual subject matter is not exactly the same. See, spiritual subject matter is a little more difficult to grasp, to understand. So it'll help us in this way. And number three, you get to learn this meditation, and you can take it with you, add it to your life for the rest of your life. Okay, so the mantra we use is Gauranga, and we divide Gauranga into 4 syllables: Go, Ra, Ang, Ga. And the technique is very simple. We take a big breath in through the nose. See, inhale slowly and gently, but also deeply. We want to take the air all the way down to the lower abdomen and then fill the body from the bottom up. As we inhale silently in the mind, we chant Go, Ra, Ang, Ga, very softly and gently in the mind. As our body begins to fill with air, of course, it will reach a point where we begin to exhale, and out loud we chant Go, Ra, Ang, Ga. And then we repeat. Inhale Gauranga in the mind, exhale Gauranga out loud. Before we begin this meditation, we want to relax. To help us relax, we take in a big breath and let it back out through the nose. Let whatever tension, anxiety, frustration, anger, whatever, go away with that breath. While we do this meditation, we want to listen closely to the sound. See, don't just hear it, but listen. Put the mind on the sound. In other words, we focus on, meditate on the sound. So I want everybody to get comfortable. When we do the meditation, I suggest you close your eyes because this helps us to relax more deeply and, of course, prevents any distraction. When we finish the meditation, sit there just for a few moments, again, comfortably relaxed, eyes closed, and just feel the peace, the calm from this meditation. Okay? Just follow my guidance. Everybody take a big breath, let it out, and relax. And now very slowly, gently and deeply inhale and chant Gauranga in the mind. Go 2 more times. Haribol. So you can see this is a very easy meditation to do. It's very relaxing. It's very versatile. You can do it anytime. You can do it in one location, another location. It's wonderful to do in nature. Do it at home. It's available. And when you do this meditation, it actually purifies the mind, purifies the heart, as well as, of course, relaxing the body, relaxing the mind, and so on. So it's something that you can add to your repertoire of life. Also, I was speaking to some people last night and pointing out the idea that this Goranga meditation is very good for those people who have difficulty sleeping. And I know a lot of us do because the mind is so busy and, we got so much stress going on and problems in life and so on. So if you do this before you go to sleep, or if you're one of those people who goes to sleep easily but wakes up and can't go back to sleep, just do the meditation. It's usually night and quiet, so it's a good setting, and just do your Goranga meditation and you'll be surprised. I've talked to many people that say, oh man, I had this problem, that problem. And by doing this, now I can really get some good sleep. Okay, so Ruben, you say you've got some questions.
Yes, I do. Some questions from various people. So, is it okay for you if I start with a question?
What's that?
Is it okay if is it okay for you if we just start? I will start with the first question.
Yeah. I'm ready.
All right. So, our first question is, and this is translated from Norwegian, so I tried my best. You tell us that we do not die. The body dies and the mind, because the soul lives on, and I believe in that. I was curious if you believe in soul wandering.
Soul wandering. Yes, actually, it's described in the Bhagavad Gita, which I've said a few different times, is our main Vedic scripture that we study in this bhakti yoga process. All the information I present is somehow based on the teaching of the Vedic scriptures. And this is the source of knowledge. So if you can have this knowledge as your platform of understanding of life and all the different subjects involved in life, then you can give the right answer, you can have the right perspective, you can have the right feelings, and so on, in connection with what we do every day. So, as far as the wandering souls go, we learn from our Vedic literature that there's many, many universes in the material creation. See, we're so unfamiliar with the enormous expanse of the material world. So many, many universes, and in these many universes, we are one of those. You see, we're in our universe on one planet, each universe has innumerable planets, and we are on one planet in one universe, which is actually quite a small one. But we think we're the whole show. That's how we see things. Oh, we're the only planet that has life. And, it's not true. It's just our arrogance. We're the number one guys. But anyway, it's described that in our universe, we'll just use our universe as an example, there's different levels of planetary systems. There's upper planetary systems, middle planetary systems, and lower planetary systems. In other words, in the upper planetary system, life is so different than we know it here. Opulence is unbelievable. People's lives are so long. And, there's so much facility for material enjoyment. So the world of the demigods, these are the little gods. Demigod means smaller God. Not the supreme Lord, but a smaller, not insignificant, but subordinate Lord. So anyway, that's the upper planetary system. Then we have the middle planetary system. Earth is in this category, middle planetary system. Life is not so good, but it's not so bad. You see, it's come see, come saw, up, down. See, sometimes it's good, sometimes not so good, just like Norwegian weather. And then we have the lower planetary system, which is known as the hellish planets. So we have the heavenly planets, the intermediate middle planets, and the hellish planets. And, obviously we can understand from the name, on the hellish planets, life is very difficult, materially speaking. See, a lot of suffering, a lot of, anxiety, a lot of difficulty, hellish life. So it's described in Bhagavad Gita that the souls are wandering throughout the universe. If we in this life, see, on this planet Earth, live a very pious life, pious activity means we're following the guidelines of the Vedic scriptures. We're doing what we should be doing in the human form of life. There's rules, there's regulations, there's rituals, there's sacrifices to be performed, etc. Pious activity. So from pious activity, we accumulate a lot of good karma. And then when we leave the body, this accumulated good karma makes it so we go to the higher regions. And there we enjoy a long time, depending on how much karma we've accumulated. But ultimately, as we're enjoying, we're exhausting, we're using up that good karma. And finally, we use it all up. We run out of good karma. Then we come back down to Earth planet again. And then, of course, we have a choice to live a pious life or an impious life. Impious life is a life lived according to my desires, my sensual pleasures, whatever I want to do. My senses and my mind are always pursuing sense gratification in one way or another. I'm the Lord. I'm the guy who decides what I do. Impious activity. And this creates a lot of bad karma. So therefore, when I leave my body, this accumulated bad karma makes it so I go to the hellish regions, the lower planetary system. And there I have a very difficult time until I exhaust, use up, pay off all my bad karma. See? Then I come back to Earth again. So Earth is kind of like the mid station where you can go up, you can go down, and of course you can stay here. You don't always go up or down. You can stay here, take birth on Earth planet in a very favorable situation or a very unfavorable situation. See, not so good, not so bad. Sometimes up, sometimes down on planet Earth. See, can go into different bodies, not only human life, can go into different forms of life, the animal forms of life, the insects, the reptiles, the aquatics, the plants, etc., etc. All this is a result of my activities which I perform while I'm in the human form of life. So it's described in Bhagavad Gita that the souls are wandering since time immemorable. That means no one can trace back when we entered the material world and this whole scenario began. Time immemorable. So since time immemorable, we have been wandering throughout the universe from lower planets, middle planets, higher planets, middle planet, lower planet, up, down, wandering around. So the souls are always wandering around. We are wandering souls, you see. And that's where the Vedic knowledge comes in. With this information, we can begin to understand what I should do to not just keep wandering around in this material world, but actually go back to my real home, the spiritual world, where I belong. See, this is where I will find all the things that I'm looking for here. See, even though the heavenly planets are so amazing in comparison to this planet, it's not food for the soul. It's not happiness for the soul. See, and so therefore, I, the spirit soul, which I eternally am, need spiritual happiness, spiritual love, spiritual perfection, etc., etc. Then the wandering stops. So until that time, we're like going up, going down, moving around all the time. But with our limited vision we have in these earth bodies, with our limited knowledge, we can't see this. See, we're just stuck in this one little, microcosm of life known as my life now. And that's all I see. I'm just like right here now. I don't see before, after, nothing. I'm just totally absorbed. I miss these things. But if I study this Vedic knowledge under the guidance of a true spiritual master, hey, I can see like it really is. Okay. Another question, Ruben?
Yes, thank you very much. This is the next question. Why are we all striving for happiness instead of rather be happy with one's life, since no life is ever perfect? I'd rather say satisfied, because happiness is such a big word. I am often disappointed in myself when setting the standard high. I have thus realized the importance of being satisfied with one's life as it is, and finding peace with that. What do you think about that?
I think it's a good idea, but it doesn't work. I mean, it's a philosophy, and I agree. If you have this philosophy and live by it, your life will be simpler. You won't be so upset with the reversals in life and so on. But you got to remember, we are spirit souls. You got to come back to that point and then work off of that truth. We are eternal spirit souls. It is the nature of the soul to be happy. This is our natural condition. And that's why we're all looking for happiness. But as long as I'm identifying with my material body, my search for happiness will be in the external world, trying to find pleasure for the body and the mind. Now, you say, well, just relax and be happy with what you have. If you got a lot or you got a little, it's enough. Be satisfied. See? And if you can do that, that's good for this lifetime. But every time you change bodies, you see, you got to start over and deal with this whole subject again. And the soul is still not satisfied. See, so I can convince myself, or maybe even come to a level of simplicity in my materialistic life, that I am satisfied. I got enough to eat, I got a place to sleep, or some clothes to cover my body, and I'm okay. I'm all right with that. That's a higher level of simplicity. And simplicity is very, beneficial in spiritual life as well as material life. Mhm. So that's good, but it's not good enough because the soul is never, ever completely satisfied, truly happy, truly satisfied until it's tasting love for God. My spiritual master, Siddha Swarupananda, he made this statement so perfectly years and years ago, and I've always remembered this and referred to it often. No one can be truly happy or truly satisfied until they are tasting love for God. See, this is critical that you understand this. See, because these material happinesses or pleasures or satisfactions, no matter how simple they may be, are still not what I just referred to. Truly happy and truly satisfied until we are tasting love for God. There is a taste of love for God that cannot be substituted or replaced or duplicated by anything else. Nothing. This is the soul's eternal need. It will never end. Never. It's eternal. In this world, we're trying to find that. See, tasting love for, but not God, tasting love for another person. See, we know we need love. We're craving for love. The soul cannot live without love. See, that's why the people who have the least love in their life have the most difficult time. See, well, maybe it was their parents that just didn't give them that parental love, when they were young, even in the animal species, the little puppies or the little monkeys or whatever, they are looking for love from the mother. See, usually in the animal species, the father just takes off. See, but the point is, souls need love, and love comes from another person, another soul. But the other souls in this world only have a tiny speck of love to offer us because we're minute parts and parcels of the Supreme Soul. So even though I am endowed eternally with this little tiny spark of love, it's very, very limited. So let's say you and I are in the desert and we both need water. You have one drop of water and I have one drop of water. We meet randomly in the desert and we have compassion on each other. And we say, oh, I want to help you. What is your problem? I am so thirsty. And I give you my drop of water. And you say, well, I understand and thank you very much. And I want to give you my drop. So I give you one drop, you give me one drop. Very wonderful exchange, giving everything we have to the other person, but I only got a drop. I'm still thirsty. But if you have a connection with the oasis and you say, okay, come with me, I have a solution for your thirst. And you take me to the oasis, which is a reservoir of water. And you say, drink as much as you want, as long as you want, see? And you have already done that. You have been doing that. And you are thirsty to begin with. See, you save me from thirst. And now I can take all I can have and I can go out and find that other person in the desert and take them to the reservoir too. And I can supply water for every thirsty person on the planet. See? God is that reservoir of love. This is what we, the spirit soul, are thirsty for. He is the reservoir. He's the oasis. So if I can somehow come to this oasis of love of God, I can drink my fill eternally. I'm overflowing with love, and I can give it to anyone and everyone in abundance and invite them all to experience the same thing and give it to everybody else, which they can do. There's enough love in the reservoir of love of God for every living entity in existence and still overflowing. You'll never use it up because the love is it's unlimited, bountiful love of God. And that makes God happy when he's giving it away. And when I give it away, it makes me happy and everybody's happy, you see. Then you're satisfied. Then you're truly happy, see. And your residence can be in the material world, in the spiritual world, but you're in the spiritual world all the time because you're in the world of love for God. See? So that's the real solution. So a nice philosophy of simplicity, be happy with what you have. You know, it does work to a degree. It sounds good. It is good. See, but number one, very, very, very few people are even interested in this. Number two, it's not complete. It's not enough. You see? So that's why this Vedic knowledge and this Vedic practice of bhakti yoga, following the spiritual master's perfect guide, see, this is the solution. So let me finish, my spiritual master's statement. No one can be truly happy, truly satisfied until they're tasting love for God. And the easiest way to come to this platform of love for the Lord is by regularly hearing and chanting his holy names. Mantras, these mantras, Gauranga. See, this is God's name. It connects us with the Lord. It connects us automatically with the reservoir of love. See, regularly hearing and chanting God's names is the solution. It's not a mental practice. It's not a mental endeavor. Just thinking, okay, love for God. I am going to love God. See, no, love is a condition of the heart. It's a condition of the pure heart. I can't artificially, through my mind's desires or wishes, purify my heart. I cannot. It's just like a fat person hearing the philosophy of a diet and being skinny. And if I'm skinny, I'll look better, I feel better, people will like me more theoretically, and so on. So I'm just going to sit here and think about being skinny and get skinny. Good luck. You can't do it. You have to follow a regime. You have to change your diet. You have to probably fast, do some cleansing. You see, eat a very, very healthy, correct diet that will make it so automatically, as a result of this, you lose weight, you gain health. Many of these physical ills and so on that you may be struggling with disappear. Your diabetes, from obesity comes so many problems. Heart problems, diabetes, and on it goes. Cancers and so on and so on. So you lose all that weight through the proper lifestyle, and those things disappear too. Your blood pressure comes down. You throw away your medications because you don't need them anymore. You don't have that problem. See, but you had to do a lot to achieve it. You couldn't just sit there and think about it or make a decision, I'm going to be skinny, and wake up tomorrow morning having lost 100 kilos. Didn't work like that, you see. So we have to do this. The Bhakti Yoga process is a scientific process that is guaranteed to produce results. So the hearing and chanting of these holy names is absolutely mandatory, especially in this age we live in now, to achieve this goal. And all your anger and frustration and dissatisfaction and so on, just dissipates and you feel very happy. Okay.
Okay. Thank you very much. I think that we'll come back to the first point you have about relationships, and because this person is asking about in relationship to what you spoke about the oasis. She says, or he says, I don't know actually who sent this in, but we just got this, so thank you for asking. I have been in a relationship for a few years, and we have 2 wonderful kids, and the relationship is stable. Still, I am feeling this emptiness, like something is missing. I know I need something more in my life, some deeper connection. My boyfriend is a good person, but is more into success, prestige, and so on. Does it make sense to look further and try to find someone who can satisfy me on a deeper level? Or is it at all possible to find such a relationship in this world?
That's a good question. See, common question, really. You know, I just mentioned about worldly relationships. You know, is if good as they may be, they're not good enough. You say, should I look somewhere else for a relationship? Yes, God. That is where you should look. You know, leave this person and go try to find another person in this world that can give you another drop of water. You know, maybe it'll be a sweeter drop of water than the one you got from this guy. You know, it's still a drop of water. It's not enough. You're in the desert. You got to understand where you are. You are in the desert of life. Desert is what? It's a place on earth where there's no water. That's what makes a desert. Lack of water is what makes a desert. So the water of life is love, and specifically love for God. We are in a desert. Where is love for God? Here. You don't find it. You see, all these people, the other person mentioned wandering around. We're wandering around all over the planet looking for that person to love. You know, we even create, you know, imaginary philosophies of soulmates. Oh, I just haven't found my soulmate. You know, I got to keep looking. Maybe they're in another country, you know, maybe in another place and whatever, whatever. You know, we're circling the globe, we're circling the universe looking for the soulmate. Yeah, there is a soulmate, but it's not what you envision. It's God. God is your eternal soulmate. That's who you're looking for, but you don't know it. You know, so you're looking for love in all the wrong places. You know, you can't find that which is not there. You know, when I grew up, there was a saying that was used, you know, by my parents and grandparents is when you were looking for something and you couldn't find it, you know, and it was very difficult, and you thought, well, you know, it's like looking for a needle in a haystack. You know, in the old days, they piled hay around a post, and the cows would come up or the horses would come up and they'd eat from this hay that was around the post. They called it a haystack. And so if there was one needle in that haystack, it would be very difficult to find it. But if it was in there, you had a chance, right? If you looked long enough and thoroughly enough, if the needle was there, you could find it. But if there was no needle in the haystack, you would never find the needle. So that's what we got here. There's no real solution in the material world. See, there's no needle in this haystack. You know, you can look and look and look eternally from higher planets to middle planets to lower planets and back again. It's not here. And that's why every true teacher that came into this world and told us how to be happy did not say in this world. They didn't say go to higher planets. Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, from the highest planet on the material world to the lowest planet, say Brahma Loka to Patala Loka, all are places of misery, of repeated birth and death. This is the Lord himself. He created this. He created the whole thing. And he says it's all a place of misery. But he says, return to my eternal abode. There you will find no misery. See, this is the solution, the only solution. So Forget about leaving this person. You say you've got a nice relationship, you've got 2 nice kids. Great. Maintain it, but make it so it can grow. See, you as an individual can have this advanced understanding of relationship with God. Pursue it. Go in that direction. Begin to taste that. See, begin to experience that. Then, as I mentioned before, you're gaining more and more love, real love, knowledge. You're seeing your children and your, husband or partner, whatever, as a spirit soul, not as a man, but a spirit soul, a person in a man's body. See, you see your children, not as their bodies, male or female, whatever they are. These are spirit souls, and they have been given to me by God's arrangement through nature for me to take care of. I am responsible for them, the spirit soul. I'm responsible for their material needs, of course. So I have to provide them with food and shelter and clothes and affection and, help them in their material learning of life and so on. But see them as spirit soul. I have the responsibility to help them spiritually. See, that's my responsibility as a mother or a father, whatever my position is. Therefore, I am beginning to now come to the true understanding of life. I study these teachings. I apply these techniques of meditation and the other techniques of bhakti yoga. And gradually, all of this becomes my world view. I'm seeing the world from a different angle. My view now is very different, you see. And I can try to encourage, the person that I'm with to come on this journey with me. If they decide to come, that's fantastic. But everybody has to choose on their own. I can't make anybody do anything, you see. So therefore, if they are ready to go with you, so to speak, to be a part of this journey, this adventure, then great. If they're not, you go anyway. See, but don't start feeling like you're low and I'm high, I'm superior and you're inferior. No, this is arrogance. The more you grow spiritually, the more you respect other people. And the more you feel, I'm really nobody. I'm just fortunate because now I have this opportunity to come to know and love the Lord, and I can share this with others. You see? And so everything in your life becomes different. Forget going out and find somebody else better. There is nobody else out there, that will satisfy you. If you can just take what you have now, see, because that's what everybody's doing. They're just getting with somebody. Oh, I love you. We're having a wonderful time together. I'm enjoying you. You're enjoying me. Enjoyment is high. We have children. And then it starts wearing off. See, that's not love. That's lust. Material sense pleasure diminishes. And gradually, what was so wonderful and so sweet in the beginning, that becomes more and more bitter. You see? And so you just leave this person on the pretext of finding another one that's better. Oh, it's another one out there that's better. And so that's what everybody's doing. Everybody's just running around, swapping people, just got a new one. And okay, hard to find somebody that hasn't, had many of those stories in their life, and they're still out there looking, Oh, I found the one finally. Okay, so you did. All right. But what? You die. You left that guy behind, that girl behind. It was wonderful, but it's over. You didn't divorce. They didn't divorce. No, it's over because you died or they died. You see? And now you take birth again and you start all over. See, when you have no idea how many of these kinds of relationships you've had in your last life and the one before that and the one before that. Innumerable, unlimited lifetimes of this. See? And every time, if it was good or bad, you left it behind. See? Sometimes it's so bad people kill themselves to get away. You see? Then they got to take another birth and start over again, hoping for the best. It's not the way that it should be. You see, do what you should do now in the human form of life. You're receiving valuable information here. If it clicks, then do something with the click. Pursue it. Visit that YouTube channel again. Come to, be involved in a new lifestyle, a new way to live. And it'll only better your life and those around you. And ultimately, if you pursue on without, deviation, you will come to true success in life. You will be truly happy, truly satisfied, and you can make it so those that are around you now that you love and care for, their life can be so much better too. Okay.
Thank you very much. We have two questions that came in that I think many people are also wondering about. And these are, I guess, related. So I'm just going to ask both of them at the same time, Balakhilya. And these are, what do you mean when you say God? And the other question is, what is Bhakti Yoga?
Bhakti means devotion. Yoga means union, specifically union with God, union between the individual soul and the Supreme Soul. What do I mean by God? God is a title, really. God, Lord, Supreme, etc. They're titles that refer to the Supreme Person. Just like king is a title. And in the kingdom, that person who occupies the position of king is number one. He's the number one person in the kingdom. So the number one person of all personalities is God. God is a title. Now, we are people. You're a person, I'm a person, and I think you'll agree with that. Most people agree I'm a person. You see? That's the issue with all this artificial intelligence and robots and so on. They're not really people, you see. They act like people. They can talk. They can be programmed to do many different tasks, and satisfy your desires in different ways and so on. They're advancing in artificial robotic intelligence, right? But all along, they're not really people. There's not really a person there. So the love cannot come from there because love comes from a person, you see. So you're a person. Every living entity is a person, whether that person is living in a dog body, a cat body, a bird body. They're people. That's why you love your dog. Why don't you, if you think that people are just machines, why don't you go, instead of buying a real dog, buy a toy dog? They're so much easier. They're so much more, comfortable. You just wind them up or put in a battery. They bark when you want them to. They shut up when you want them to. You can cut them off. You don't have to feed them, except the batteries when they run out. They don't shit. They don't do nothing. They're just so easy. You just put them in the corner. You don't even have to look at them for a year. Come back. Wind him up. He's right there, ready to go. You see? Why don't you do that? Because there's no person there. You can't love a toy dog, but you can love a real dog. And that's why people have dogs, an exchange of love between you and another person. You see? And when you love your dog, you want to serve your dog. They say the dog is man's best friend. Why? Because you can love them and they love you back, and they're so easy. You see? This is all around the idea there is a person where there's life. Now, as an individual person, we came from somewhere. People just don't become from nothing. So it's described in the Vedic scriptures very clearly, and actually in this case, all scriptures, there is a supreme person. That is God. God is that supreme person. Supreme means number one. Above all other personalities, there is an original person. The original person is known as the Adi Purusha. Adi means first. Purusha means person. It also means enjoyer. So in Vedic terminology, God is known as the Adi Purusha, the first personality, and all other personalities are parts and parcels of the original person, children, if you will. So we're all children of the Supreme Person. That is our eternal relationship. Just like in this lifetime, in this body that you have now, you had a father, a biological father, and you can't do anything about that. That biological father was who he was. You may have never known that father. You may have never, been with that father. You may not like that father. You may hate that father, or you may love that father. But nonetheless, the relationship of good or bad or indifferent is still a relationship with your biological father from birth till death. When you leave your body at the time of death, your father in this lifetime biologically was who he was. You can't change it. So on the eternal spiritual scale, we have this eternal relationship with the Supreme Father, the Supreme Lord. And I can't change that. I can forget it. I can deny it. I can not like it, or I can embrace it. I can cultivate that lost relationship. And I can make it so I'm in harmony with the will of the Supreme Father. The Supreme Father, as I've just mentioned so much already tonight, is the reservoir of love and pleasure and happiness and protection and affection and mercy and peace and everything that the soul needs is coming from him. It's there waiting for me. But in my denial of the Supreme Father, and now it's not even a denial anymore, it's an adverse reaction toward the Supreme Father. We not only deny, we reject openly, get God out of the subject of life. There is no God. I don't want there to be a God. God is my enemy. We've actually consciously, openly denied ourselves what we eternally need: love, affection, protection, mercy, love, shelter. We've actually consciously put ourselves in a position that I cannot have any of that because I've thrown God away. God is dead. For me, there is no God. I hate God. I don't want to be God. Blah, 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 blah. And I'm just guaranteeing nothing but misery, 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 lifetime after lifetime. Is that the philosophy that's working for me? How's it working for you? Do you like that? Are you successful in your attempt? You feel better about that? It's absolute ignorance. It's just absolute dark ignorance. But we embrace ignorance in this age especially, and we throw away the light. We don't want this light of knowledge. What I'm saying now may offend a lot of people. I'm sorry about that, but it's the eternal truth. But those people who actually are looking for some light and are tired of the darkness, it may be that little spark that opens up the whole realm of light, of love for God. See, it may be. I hope so. See. So, God is our eternal, original, supreme source of life. Our Father, our Mother, our sustenance, our maintenance, our love, our affection, our solace, our everything. That's God. When I talk about God, that's what I'm talking about. Not some figurehead of some faith system. My God against your God. See, this is sectarian. It has nothing to do with what I'm talking about. See, there's only one supreme person. Sometimes people say, well, my God is different than your God. You believe in your God, I believe in my God. There's only one God. God means number one. That's what the word means. Number one. There can only be one number one. That's how it is. See? So when we get away from all this sectarian conflict, and atheism is one of those, See, it's a sectarian belief system too. The most popular one on the planet right now, unfortunately, in many cases. See, it's the fastest growing religion on the planet. If you take religion to mean a belief system, atheism is the fastest growing religion, because more and more people are denying the existence of God. See, so what religion are you in? Are you in the atheism religion, or the Christianism, or the Hindu, or the Buddhist, or the Muslim, or the Zoroastrian, or what religion are you in? See, we're not talking about religions. We're talking about the eternal truth. See, atheism is an eternal lie. There is a God. So if you like that position, and if you like to live that story, then you have the freedom to do so. But the fruit of that will be eternal misery. As long as you hang on to that, you'll never be happy. Never. If that's what you're looking for, you got it. You see. So this is bhakti yoga. Bhakti, devotion. Yoga, union with God, love. You can't love somebody without devotion. You can't have devotion without love. The two are synonymous. It's not like love is separate from devotion. They're the same thing. A mother's love for her child is pure devotion to the child. Mothers have a child and they just enter motherland. You see, I'm in la la motherland. You know, the child's whole focus, their love, their affection, their attention, their so on and so on. If it's a real mother, you know, now we have mothers that throw away the children. That's not mothers. You know, that's just people who see kids as just a burden on them, and they're not even real people, and just throw them away. That is not what I'm talking about. But a real mother, and those of you out there who are mothers know, and all of us have had mothers. I mean, that's the way my mom was. I was the focus of her attention, and she showered her love on me all the time. You know, and I felt it. I knew that. It wasn't like some thing I had to figure out. You know, it was just automatic. That's love. You can't have love for someone without devotion. You can't have devotion without love. So bhakti yoga, that's what it is. But the personality we're referring to is the supreme person. See, so it has many names. Krishna, all attractive. You know, Jehovah, all powerful. Allah, the all perfect. The great one. Allah, the great one. And on the names go. Unlimited names describing the wonderful attributes of the Supreme Lord. See? And when you enter into that world of receptivity and you actually try to cultivate that lost relationship, and it is lost, it's there, it's dormant, it's not active. We're in denial of it. We've lost it. We've lost the most precious thing. When you actually begin to cultivate that, actively cultivate it in the process of bhakti yoga, is the scientific way to do that under the guidance of the perfect teacher. You can actually revive that lost relationship, bring it back to its full wonder, you know. And as you do, your life is unbelievable. See, that's bhakti yoga. And that's for everybody. See, everybody, not just a few people, but only a few people want this. See, okay.
Okay, thank you. I'm kind of out of questions, but I have one question that I would personally like to ask Balakhilya, if I may.
Yeah, I'm here.
So I have a friend who is very, very dear to me, someone I care about, actually in my family, who is in this, what you're describing all the time. He needs so much affection, and I see that, and he's always looking from, this person to that person, always looking and looking, and never feeling that he finds it, and it makes him feel like he's never good enough, but he's always looking for something, for someone who will really satisfy him. And he is not, of course, in my life, I'm trying to follow this philosophy, but at the same time, I want to help him, and I know that he is not he's not really there. So I guess my question would be, and in terms of all of us who are in that situation, if you can accept these truths that you are presenting, how do you help someone that you care about, that you see is suffering, and without pushing something on them, or without them feeling like, because if I mention the concept of God to him, he would be, I think it would be just too much for him. So I end up saying, well, go inside, find the peace inside, find the love inside, which is just, it's not really the full truth. But can you expand more upon how to
You can't find peace inside when there's turmoil inside. Go inside and just jump into the chaos.
Mm.
All those airy-fairy, feel-good philosophies don't work. If you go inside and all that's inside is just misery and pain, that's what you get. Inside means the Lord in the heart. If you want to go to the Lord in the heart inside, why not go to the Lord outside as well? See, but if you're denying God completely, how much you think you're going to find of him inside? There is no, possibility of these philosophies working. That's what people just go inside and feel good. Good luck. It's just not real. It's not something you can really apply, you know. But and not unfortunately, but fortunately, these mantras, for instance, they are so powerful that if anyone hears these mantras, they don't know their God's names. They just have mantras, a lot of people kind of are attracted now to Eastern philosophies. It's become trendy because yoga is so widespread, and it's just a part of yoga, Eastern India, mantras and all these things. It's trendy now, and so, you can present like, oh, here's some Eastern teachings that, have made me feel good, and these are mantras, and, they're really powerful or whatever, you can say whatever you want. Don't tell a lie, but just, describe it as palatable to this person, and make it so they listen to these mantras. Make it so. Give them the opportunity to listen to the mantras. If they hear these mantras one time, it's helped this spirit soul in that body. And you may never see the fruit of that, but when they leave their body, that benefit is there. They will take that benefit with them to their next life. And it may put them in a very different position than if they'd have never heard that mantra. One time hearing the mantra, one time, can you imagine? That's how powerful these mantras are. See, many people like to listen to ambient music now, relaxing music, meditation music, so, we have some very nice recorded mantras that are in this category of meditation music. And, we've had many people tell us, oh, I just put this in my car and listen to it when I'm driving. And, it relaxes me so much, and the traffic is not bothering me like it used to, and whatever. And they don't even know it's mantras. I'm in Kazakhstan now, but I've been here many times. And one time, some years ago, we have a CD, that we've made with some friends in Russia that's very relaxing, and we often give it to people. Just, oh, here's the CD, So a friend of mine, here you can easily catch a car to go somewhere, because everybody's a taxi. You don't have to call a taxi. Just stick up your hand and they pull over and give you a ride. And it's amazing. I've never been any place like this. And you just pay them some small money, like almost nothing, to take you wherever you're going. And so anyway, a friend of mine was going. We were having a public lecture on something like we're doing now. And so anyway, he was going to the lecture, and he got in the car, and there's this CD playing these mantras, And so he's listening. He goes, wow. So he gets to where he's going. He said, hey, where did you get that CD that, was playing? I really like that music. And the guy said, Oh, I gave some guy a ride one time, and I put the CD in my player because he asked me to, and it was playing. And then when, he got out, I couldn't get the CD out of the player. It got stuck in there, and it's still stuck in there. And so, that's how I got it. But he said, one thing I have noticed, whenever I play this while I'm driving around looking for people to pick up, I always get more business. So I play it all the time now. So everybody that gets in his car gets spiritually benefited. You're helping those people spiritually. See, and like I said, you may never see him. Oh, Reuben, I really, want to change my life. And, is there a God? And you may never see that. But I can assure you, when this friend of yours or relative or whatever it is leaves his body, he will take whatever purification he has had from this opportunity to his next life. It's there. It's in there. So don't expect to always see the results with your eyes in this lifetime. So that's what I suggest. And of course, as I won't go into detail, but when you offer food to the Lord before you yourself eat it, that food has huge spiritual power, potency, purifying properties, and you give that to another person who's not interested in any of this kind of stuff, but they like a cookie or they like an apple, or they take something from you and they eat it, and that purifies too. And you're helping people like that. That's the beauty of this teaching. You don't have to explain all these things to them to help them.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay. So our time is flying. I got another program coming up, but I want to do a little meditation with music called Sankirtan. And the mantra will be Gauranga that we did previously. We'll add one more mantra, Hari Bol. So the mantra could be just Hari Bol, just Gauranga, or Gauranga Hari Bol, or Hari Bol Gauranga. And the technique is I chant and everyone listens. And then we have a couple people here that'll be responding to what I chant, which is what you will hear. And then you chant with them. See, this is called Shravanam Kirtanam, hearing and chanting. Okay, so I want everybody to, again, just relax and, try to get the mind out of the way. Forget about all this thing. Just don't even think about what I've been talking about. For now, just relax and listen, and then chant along with my friends here, the Chintamani Choir. Gauranga. Everybody. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Haribo, hey. Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Haribo Goranga Haribo.
Haribo Goranga.
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 Goranga Haribo.
Goranga. Haribo.
Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo, hey. Goranga Haribo. 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 Oh, Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Goranga, hey. Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo.
Goranga Haribo.
Goranga Haribo.
Goranga Haribo.
Goranga Haribo. Goranga Haribo. Goranga. 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 Okay.
Thank you.
That is a meditation called Sankirtan. And I think Ruben and his friends there in Trondheim do this regular basis when there's not lockdown. So, yeah, you can join with other people and chant these mantras and, you know, just get the benefit of all this transcendental sound in a very, very enjoyable way. Even, you know, in these quarantine, isolation, lockdown scenarios that we're in, kind of coming out of for a little bit, we're doing all this online. You know, we're every day online meeting with, you know, some hundreds of people really, and doing these meditations, talking about this philosophy, you know, looking at life from another angle. See, looking at life completely differently than we could. See? And then you'll see your way through to true happiness, true satisfaction. Okay, so like I say, I got another program coming up. And Ruben, thank you so much, you and all your helpers there. I know you've got a lot of people, you know, helping you, Christian and Lynn and all your friends. So thank you very much for all that.
A lot of people in the backstage. Thank you so much, Namaste, Balakhilya, and for your time.
We'll be back next week, right?
We will be back next week with another lecture with Balakhilya. Maybe we could show the video now if you also want to see it, Balakhilya.
Yeah, okay.
A video,
Roll it.
a
I
video
don't
we
have
made.
much time, but
Oh,
run it.
it's only 1 minute.
Oh, okay. I have a minute. Forgiveness. Forgiveness is not a weakness. It's not conditional. It's not justice. Forgiveness does not minimize a wrong, does not mean trusting, does not mean forgetting. Forgiveness is a heartfelt decision. It is a decision to grow. Yeah, cool. I think I'll come.
You are invited.
I think I like that. I think I'll come.
We hope that you want to come and maybe also host this lecture.
Yeah. All right, everybody. Truly, I have to go, but thank you all so much. And we'll see you next week.
See you in 1 week.
Haribol.
Haribol.